Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Women Are Worthy show. And if you're watching us on YouTube, the Women Are Worthy Network. Okay, let me tell y'all what's going on here now. Because y'all, this whole week I've been fangirling, having all my people that I look up to. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gents and Gen X. Okay, is that even a word? We want you to meet Miss LaTrenda George. LaTrenda is an author, a podcaster, a transformational coach specializing in spiritual coaching and mentoring. Now, let me tell y'all something. During this pandemic, I need this. I need some sizzle for my spirit. Let me tell y'all, I originally meant to put the word zhuzhin, right? When I was describing the show. Y'all, I didn't know how to spell zhuzhin. So I figured I could say it, but I just couldn't spell it. So without further ado, we would like to introduce, and I'm telling you, she's phenomenal. I'm going to be taking notes. So if y'all see me looking down, I'm not trying to be unprofessional, but look, mama need help too. Okay, I don't know everything. I'm here helping everybody and they stuff. Mama needs help too. So what best but to have Miss LaTrenda George on the show. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Thank you, Jacqueline. I am so honored to be on the show today, and I'm looking forward to chatting it up with you.
Well, we're going to chop it up. So first, let's begin with, who is LaTrenda George? Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is LaTrenda George, and I consider myself the queen messenger of love and light. I spread out positivity weekly, daily on Instagram. That is my platform of choice. I'm also a podcaster of the Awaken Legend podcast, where I interview entrepreneurs who have accepted their truth and stepped out from corporate America to build their dream. And we talked about just so much things that you go through. As the author of Download Your Truth, 4 Steps for Living Within, we talk about how you transform from where you are to where you want to go in the phases you go through during that time. And so I see myself as that queen messenger of love and light, putting positivity in the world, being that light, understanding we're all a whole. And that's literally, I'm a mom. I'm a single mom, got 2 amazing boys, Joshua and Isaiah. And I love being a mom.
And this is great that you're on right now, because right now during the pandemic, we're constantly bombarded with the news. I mean, let's talk about one thing first, because there's a plethora of things we could talk about. But again, pandemic. We have this going on, we're working from home. Sometimes we may not like our spouse. We may not even like our kids, but not talking about me. I'm just saying,
Yes.
But this is what you're doing, and it plays with your mental. It does play with your mental spirit and emotional spirit. So my question to you is, since you're the expert in this, what do you suggest that we do? Because I'm telling you, I don't listen to the news. I refuse to play the news, but somehow my dag phone will pop up something, and then I try not to look at it. Talk, even on my prayer line, people are dying, and what advice can you give us? Because, baby, when I say I need some sizzle in my spirit, when I say I need some zhuzhing in my spirit, come on, let's get into it.
So let's really get into it. The pandemic has its pros and its cons. The cons is that a lot of people are losing their life. All the news and the media, how they hype things up, or it's just too much information for you to be able to understand. We all went through a massive change since March 2020. Our lives have been changed, are impacted. We've lost family members, friends, co-workers. And so it's a lot. But like you said, you have to set those healthy boundaries. Like you said, you don't watch the news. You have to really be able to have a higher source that you commune with. Really take time to focus on self and self-care. Self-care and your mental state is very important right now. To understand that the pandemic is happening outside of you, not inside of you, right? So it does not change your dreams and things you aspire to do in life and how you love and interact with your family. Yeah, you have to do some distance, but the love is still there. It's communication. The internet was already existed before the pandemic. So you can get on Zoom, you can have these type of interactions we're having today. So it's all these different things that are already in place to help us navigate through that. When change comes, it's usually unannounced. Okay, so this was a big unannounced event that happened. So we adapt to it. We are resilient. I truly believe we was prepared for this season. If we truly think about things you've been through in life, it prepared you for this season. You just have to adjust of looking at the light opposed to looking to the darkness, and continue to be the light. And if you continue to be the light in dark situations, you will attract other people of light.
I definitely agree with you with that, because you are who you attract. But we also have to remember, especially when you have people persons, and that I'm a people person, okay, not a people pleaser, okay. I love to hug, I love to shake hands. So for me, it was like, oh my God. So, we're starting to do, when I am in the presence of people, the elbow bump. And let me tell you something. I am zoomed the hell out, okay?
Yes.
Because now you do have to set boundaries, but if you have meetings and things to do, it's like zoom, 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 zoom. And I don't want to be impatient when I'm doing a Zoom. It's like, okay, I got another one. It's like I am zoomed out. And I want to make sure that when we come back into the world, that I still have my social skills, because I think some people that I've met, their social skills are gone. And when I mean met, I mean on via Zoom or something like that. So we have to make sure we're still engaged with people. And of course, you want to mask up and everything. But for me, I'm gonna keep it real. I was going through a depression.
Yes.
When I can't live in Seattle, I'm not a sister that can live in Alaska, because I need some sun. I need some vitamin D, okay? But I've noticed I was getting a little bit depressed because I was working from home, and there was no one really, I was focused and working, and I'm like, what's wrong with me? My husband will come home, I'm biting his head off. My cat looking at me, my cat don't even want to come near me because she think I'm gonna do something to her, because she gives me that look like, because I'm like, what do you want? That kind of thing. So I've learned now and I remember this biblical verse, or someone said, I am in this world, but I'm not of this world. So that's how I'm trying to look at the pandemic. Like, okay, you're right when you said the pandemic has pros and cons, because now my circle is so small now, because I'm eliminating dead weight. And before I would just deal with them. I'm going to be honest. I'm like, okay, I'll tolerate them. I'm going to be honest. Now I don't have time to tolerate people, because life is short.
Yes.
And I want to be able to be around people who I love, who loves me. I don't want to waste that time. So my question to you is, what would you say to someone who's going through something similar to that? Thank God I read your post. Thank God, you pulled me out of that abyss, along with my therapist. Oh, I just did a rhyme. Abyss therapist.
Okay.
I'm a rapper. No. So what advice would you give someone, out there asking for this?
Well, basically, a person who you're an outgoing person, right? And you're a huggy person. Like, I like to hug people. You get that southern about you. You want to hug, you want to embrace someone, let them know how much you appreciate them. And it's just the time is to just do things a little differently. We're going to go back to that. I truly believe we're going to go back to that. But to me, the bigger thing at this time was for us to get one with self and still engage, but we all need to spend more time with self. Our schedule is so busy. We're always giving to ourselves. This time during the pandemic was time for you to give to your individual self. And for example, when you mentioned that one thing the pandemic taught us is life is short, right? If we already knew that because of cancer and other diseases, we really knew it with the pandemic. And so you realize that some people was not an active part of your journey anymore, and you were just holding on to them, and that's dead weight for you to go to that next level. So this time and season was needed. So even though you can still be expressive, it's just different ways you're being expressive. Like, you're very active on Instagram and all the social media platforms out there. You're engaging, other people are engaging with you. You're interviewing people. So this platform, Women Are Worthy Show, was already in existence because you really needed this show for yourself also. to manage it during that part. And you just got to really, I think, ground yourself and see your light that you're bringing to the world by bringing these different voices on your platform, having these divine conversations in perfect time and perfect season. And so we just have to really honor who we are and feel grounded in that, and understand what we're giving and sharing with the world can help you out of that dark place of depression of feeling alone. That interaction is coming back, but you're going to be even better with that interaction from this pandemic.
You're right, because let me tell you something. My therapist is on speed dial. I don't even have my husband on speed dial, but my therapist on speed dial.
Yes.
Okay. So, because I think it's important to talk to someone who's doesn't know much about me, someone who's unbiased, who doesn't have any, biases when it comes to me. We can have conversations, candid conversations, because I think we all need that sounding board, someone to hear what you have to say. So my question that I want to ask, what is a spiritual coaching? What is that exactly? For those out there looking for a coach, but just need to know the specialties, disciplines, what exactly is that?
Well, I can say this in one statement. Basically, my tribe, my individuals that they're looking for spiritual coaching, it's someone that I can help and assist in their healing on their way to alignment and enlightenment. So everyone, I truly believe, has a desire to be enlightened, but a lot of people don't accept that call. They ignore it. They ignore their inner gifts. They ignore the voice inside of them. So they're not ready, and that's okay. We are who we are. We're all in different parts of our journey, but the people that I offer spiritual counseling to and coaching to are individuals who understand it's something else going on than what I see in the physical. It's something else. I know how I attract different things in my life. I know the power of my words, but I need someone to help me understand it, so I can go even deeper. I mean, they have a longing to know the mysteries of the universe and how things are operating in a spiritual realm concerning your life. So how you attract things in your life, how you protect your energy, really want to dive into that enlightenment area. So it's a spiritual coaching to get to know who you truly are. All right. Because I truly believe we like 95% spiritual. Like, spiritual man is so strong. And those are individuals who are searching for that. They have some information, but they really want to just build it and continue to build that type of relationship with themselves. And I just help foster that.
And it's like, because for me, metaphysical stuff, I'm all about that. And, because I was searching and I found exactly, for example, now I was looking for my tribe because I knew, and I know exactly what you're talking about, because I went through that. I was going through a period of searching, and I'm like, something's not right. And then you start to feel like you're the weird one out, because your gifts are calling, and you're like, because, first it was empath. Then I said, something else is going on with me. It can't just be that. After research, talking to people help me navigate, reading, I said, something more than this empath thing is going on. And then when I realized, I belong to the Indigo Children tribe, and I'm like, wow. So so it's like, when I heard that and I did the research and I started talking to more people like me, I'm like, I found my tribe. I am not weird. And people would say, you're sensitive. You know how they call it, sensitive. And I am like, because let me tell you something. I'm a master manifester, because I can say something. I remember the other day I was talking to my husband. I said, well, I don't know why. I had ordered just something simple. I had ordered my floor for my office, and 3 weeks went by, and I'm like, why is my floor not here? What's going on? Something tells me to go look at my email. I look at my email, and they told me my floors arrived, and it was just right. It wasn't in there for 3 or 4 days. It was just there. And I think one of the things, LaTrenda, and I'd like you to talk about this, because when I was talking to Dawn, from In Vogue, we were talking about certain things, and I mentioned crystals. So someone posted on my page that be careful of crystals because they're witchcraft. So what I had to do is I had to post something in the Bible that talks about, the New Jerusalem, where, majority of the things that was lined with New Jerusalem were crystals, so I had to explain that. how can you, because we need to talk about this, especially with people who are saved, who are Christian, Baptist, Black folks who don't understand. Can you explain this? Because when I talk about what I am, I do get the feeling or you know, where, oh, that's witchcraft. So can you
Mm-hmm.
talk a little bit, speak to that, please?
Sure. And you know, I believe in God,
Mhm.
right? And I, like you said, in the Bible, crystals are listed in there, and it's not listed as witchcraft. He had so many people place different stones in places where important things happen in the Bible. And I think it's just more of an educational piece of people really searching for the knowledge and wisdoms on their own. And then you can relate it back to the word of God. Even the meaning of the crystals of using amethyst and, you know, the rose quartz and the clear quartz and the, you know, citrine, is so many powerful stones out there. And if you go back to the Bible, when he had certain person place a stone here or there, you can, it's the exact same meaning. I think that, like they say, you perish because of lack of knowledge. People, to me, when they say it's witchcraft, it's just based on what they were taught from someone else, but they have not did the research themselves to have a clear understanding in the power of crystals and why in the Bible they were used and why people still use them and how they can be used as protection. Even in the breastplate, it's certain stones and crystals in the breastplate. Okay, it's so much out there that until you really dive in into knowing that it's more power than that. Just like when you do the anointing with olive oil, right? The Christians, you know, you anoint your head and it's olive oil. The oil itself doesn't have the power. It's what you speak over the oil that has the power. So really you can anoint anything to give it power, right? You can speak our words is the power. Okay. So even when you receive a crystal or a stone, you set intentions in that crystal or stone. When your head is anointed, whoever's anointing you or you're anointing yourself, it's the words that leads the manifestation process. And so I think individuals just really need to search it out for themselves and have those conversations and open yourself to learn different things. I think a lot of times we live in a box and it's so much stuff in the universe. It's so massive. It's so much to learn. And we all have different ways to have that path of alignment. Crystals may work for this person. You know, anointing oil may work for this person. Someone else, you know, going bathing in the sea somewhere may work for them. It's so many different tools to help you on your journey for protection, for support, for guidance. We just have to be open minded to it and not based on one person telling us this would work for their life, because what worked for your life may not work for my life. You know, we all have to, you know, one of the things when I do law of attraction or manifesting or asking and receiving, seeking and find, knocking on the door is open to me. You know, that's the Bible right there. And law of attraction is so much, it's the same thing. It's really being grounded enough to accept that I have the power, my words have the power to manifest my heart's desire, or I may receive greater. If you really, like today, I said to myself, I woke up this morning and the first thing I said, before the foundations of the earth, the universe was already in position to support LaTrenda George on her path.
Mm-hmm.
And when you really realize that no matter what you're going to, you're always supported. You just got to believe it and trust it and have that faith that what I desire, what I want exists. And even if I am to create something new, the people, places, and things are already here. And when you walk in that assurance, baby, it's nothing. There is nothing can stop for you to manifest what you want in your life.
Tammy says, so true. She said spirituality is different than religion. And she says she loved that, what you just said. You know, and I think
Thank you,
we've been
Tammy.
indoctrinated. We've been
Mm-hmm.
indoctrinated into so many different things, this religion. And I'm not religious, I'm
Yeah.
spiritual.
Yeah.
And I think, especially in the Black churches, because I know when I was going to church, you listen, you read the 10 Commandments, which you're not supposed to do. And at one point, I'm telling you, I was nervous about this gift and whatever it is that I have, not whatever, this gift that I was bestowed. And because I'm like, wait a minute, the Bible says this, and if I have a crystal, and if you do that, and I'm like, wait a minute, Jesus gave his disciples powers, okay? Because when he died, they were able to raise the dead. They can, they can do a lot of things. So why would I be? So that's what I had to do. It was some self-talking that I had to do. My other friends, because I've had friends who, I don't want to say they called me a witch, because like they in their mind predict things, but it's not predicting, it's manifesting. If you're in alignment, because everything is about energy. Think about this. Your heart is energy. Girl, we can talk about this all day. You my sister, you my tribe, you get me. So what I say is your heart is energy. So my girlfriend's like, what do you mean the heart's energy? I said, think about this. When someone has a heart attack, or if their heart is you're having some issues, they use electricity to actually bring your heart back to normal beats. So that's energy. Everything. I said, think about this. When you play in your hair, or if it's raining and you feel that static. That's energy. When your hair stands up, that's energy. So if what we need to do is, we're more powerful than we know. And a lot of people don't understand. My destiny is not in your hands. My destiny is not in my boss's. When I had a boss, it's not in his hands. We have to be the creator of our universe. Yes, we all believe in Jesus. We believe in God. Yes, but there's other things he wants us to do, because like without works, what is your faith? Without faith, without works, it's dead, as they say. So it works hand in hand. We have to start believing in ourselves. We have to start understanding, if we were made in God's image. Here's my question to you. And I mean, I'm just, we chopping it up. My question to you is, if we're supposed to be made in God's image, what does that make us? What does that make us?
We're in his image. So we have the power. He said, you should do greater things than I have done. Okay. So if you truly believe that, and you understand, and just to go back, everything is energy. Even if you look at and read on people who had past life experiences, or people who have nearly died and came back to life, they talk about the energy. Even when a person's about to be walking a rape, you could take there, say, I felt something dark. You can feel other people's energy when they enter the room, right? It could be a dark energy, a light energy, it could be a sexual energy. It could be so many things you could feel. Energy is everything. And when you're going through this life and you get to really understand energy, and when you're manifesting and you just break out dancing for no reason, or you just feel like, oh, I just felt good I don't know what happened, but something just happened good for me. Because you just feel it. The energy hits you before the manifestation even comes. And you have to learn how to keep that feeling going, right? Or you wake up in the morning, especially if you wake up between that 3 and 5 a.m. and you start getting ideas and that creativity start hitting you. That's energy. That's what's waking you up like that. It's something that you're supposed to be manifesting. It's something you're supposed to be, creating. It's some prayers. It's some time of meditation. You're about to get a download from high. Okay,
yes.
For you could create and connect. And so you have to know that it's just understanding that you're so powerful. Your words are so powerful. You have to speak what you want and let go of what you don't want. So I tell people, choose peace over drama. Choose distance over disrespect.
Wait, let it marinate here. Stop. Let it marinate. Okay. I mean, that is so true, because for me, it's to the point now where I don't need to know when there's a full moon. It's like I hear something whispering in my ear. And when I get that whisper, I look out the window and I see a full moon. So when I do that, because on my Facebook page, whenever there's a full moon, I'm putting it out there. I'm like, it's a full moon. And mama goes out there and ground. Okay. I don't care. The other day, it was 23 degrees. My husband's like, okay, let's see you ground. I said, let me tell you something. For my peace of mind, I said, because I will not get pneumonia. I will not have any cold. I am going out there on my front lawn and I am standing and I am talking to the moon. I am praying, so when I'm praying, I'm a Bible verse because God created that. And we need to start talking to people and reminding them, or not even reminding, educating them to know that we are powerful. We're looking to man to pray to God for us, but we can do it ourselves. We have so much power. And when you surround yourself with negativity is going to flow. Because I'm telling you, when I tell people I'm allergic to negativity, baby, I am serious. I get immediately ill. If someone, and that's why now what I'm working on, to be totally transparent, is my energy, because I can burn out really fast. So I go from 0 to 90. I'm now learning, working with crystals and stuff, how to go from 0 to 5, 10, 15, 20, because I can get so excited that when I'm finished, I'm exhausted, I'm tired. And then I was absorbing other people's energy. If someone, I'll feel sometimes like, I don't feel right. What's going on with me? Why does this hurt? Why does that hurt? Then I get a phone call from someone that this or that, the symptoms I was having, that's what they have. So I'm now learning to, here's a big word for me now. I can even spell it.
All right.
Boundaries.
Yes.
That's what I'm correct. That's what I'm doing now. I am learning now to set boundaries. Like if I feel, because I've said many times, LaTrenda, where I'll tell someone, I don't want to do this. And they're like, not like watching shows. In the past, I couldn't watch any gory shows that had blood. It just would do something to me. Now, when I would watch it, it would exhaust me. Now I've learned to harness that energy where I can see a show, not just sit down and watch it, and girl, nothing. I am fine. So I'm creating a barrier where it's not coming to my soul. You just went out again. So when you get back on, but anyway, I'm going to keep talking. So y'all, let me tell you what was going on. Like if I'm watching any show that has anything to do with someone shooting someone dying, if I watch the show, it just wasn't working for me, somehow, because my husband likes watching shows like that, right? So I'm like, nah, I don't want to watch it now because I've protected that energy portion. I'm good now. I'm good. So, you went out for a minute, but I want to know, when did you first find out this was your calling? Or when did you find out that you had it?
Well, I think I knew when I was a little child. People always referred to me the one with the old soul. And because I had a gift, which some people would consider witchcraft, but it's a great gift of discernment. So I would have dreams and visions of things to happen and be able to tell people about things that had happened with individuals who had passed on. And it was like, she wasn't even born then. How did she know? And so as a child, I was lost. I held it back, didn't know how to really use it and harness that energy. And then I've always been sensitive to other people's energy. Family reunions I didn't always like to go to, but I was forced to go to just because of the energy that was heavy, and just different environments. And so as I got older, and it's like, okay, I keep having these dreams, I keep having vision. You know what? I got to take time, and I kind of stepped out of corporate America to really understand my truth, because going this way, it feels too heavy. Just doing the 9 to 5 corporate America. Going to all the events just because you're invited, you want to, pleasing people, pleasing relatives. It was like, you know what? I can't do this no more, because I'm called to a more sacred path. I realize that. So what I have to do is to distance myself, find out who I am. And that encouraged me to help others. So when I did that for myself, it gave me that assurance, like, wow. And I was like, oh my God, I should have did this. I felt so much lighter. I was like, I should have did this a long time ago. Right. And it's like, this feels good. This is me. This is the truth of who I am. And you know what? We're continuing to grow and continue to develop. But I had to take that time and just do me. Really spend time with me, spend a lot of time in prayer, just be ministered to myself by myself, pull myself out of church. I didn't attend church that much. I watched still church online, but I didn't attend because it's a lot of judgment there. It's a lot of, and I said, no, I've been judged enough. I've been through all this. So let me do me and find out what I was created through and how I am created. And that way I can give the best version of myself, and I can honor my path and honor other people's path. Right. So it's not like I'm better than anyone else, or I need to do what they're doing. No, I need to do what I'm doing and understand it's okay for them to do what they're going to do. Because we all have to learn lessons. We all have to go through this path. So that piece led me to understanding myself, which led me to wanting to give this gift to others.
And for me, what I've learned is, it's, for example, you have friends. One's going to be a doctor. One wants to be a lawyer. One wants to be a police. So it's different paths that people are taking. I had to learn, because I'm telling you, I go to a spiritual center where they accept all religions, non-denominational. They basically embrace this. They embrace the empaths, the indigo children, because my husband, at first he was like questioning it. Now, anything that comes out of my mouth, he's like, I know it's going to happen, and it happens. I'll say, hey, I want this to happen. No, because and I have a lot of friends who are manifestors as well. And when we get together, I'm telling you, the energy is ridiculous. So it's almost like, it's not that it's going to happen. It's happening now. So I try to tell people, and I do tell people, I unplugged out of the matrix a long time ago. The world is the matrix. That's why I love that movie. It's so many, it's a lot of meanings to that movie.
Yes.
I've actually spoken with the original creator, Sophie Stewart, on this, who created the Matrix and the Terminator. And listening to her, but I am pulled out of the matrix. And you're right about the download that you get, and that's in the matrix. I have this thing where with animals in myself, where my husband was shocked, where he would walk the dog dog comes over to me. We had a dog by the name of Tank. He would come over to me, and I just felt it. I said, Ray, you got to walk him again. And he's like, I already walked him for 45 minutes. I said, I'm telling you, he has to use the bathroom again. And we would go back and forth. And I'm like, okay, I'll walk him. And he's like, no, I'll walk him. And he's like, how did you know? When my dog was sick, he was sick. And the night that my dog was going to pass, I went into the other room with him. And I told my husband didn't know he was that sick. And I told him, I says, we're going to have to take him to the emergency room, the emergency vet, and tonight is his last night. My husband's like, what are you talking about? Because it's like, I'm telling you, it's like the dog's like, this is my last, I'm not feeling well. I'm going to see you, blah, 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 blah. I'm not coming back home. And I knew it, and I was going to take the dog to the vet, but something told me if I did that because I woke up, I had a dream, and something said 2:00. And I told my husband, I said, he's going to die at 2:00. By the time we got together, went to the vet, test and everything, 2:00. He put him down at because we said we had to do it. So like at 1:45, by 2:00 on the paperwork, it's listed. That's when he, a place and time of death or whatever. But it's like, so even with my cat, same thing with my cat. So I'm noticing I have this thing with animals. I'm not going to say Dr. Doolittle.
Right.
Say that, but I have this thing, and I never knew that. I have this thing with animals. I have this thing when people are coming in. I'm telling you, I can tell when someone means me no good. I can tell when someone's no good, and it's strange because that has caused me to be estranged from a lot of people, because they may want to bring someone in the circle and the spirit is not right, but then later on they come back to me and say, Jackie, you were right. This is so and so and so. Right now, before I would let them in the circle, girl, I ain't got time to tolerate you in my circle. I'm going to be nice to you. I'm going to be cordial to you, but you're not going to be in my circle. Okay? It's always pan out. Even my interns are telling me, like, how did you know this? Yeah, here's a perfect example. Yesterday, we're training a new intern. So my
Yes.
assistant, I said, well, why hasn't he sent us any emails about the stuff that he's sending out? So said, so done. We go on my email and he sent something. She says, there you go again. It's just so funny,
Yes.
but it's not just me. It's not just you. We all have it. We all have it. I mean,
Yes.
can you attest to that and speak to that, please?
I mean, we all have it. And when you talk about animals, it's like I know when a robin presents itself on my path, what it means when the blue jay comes, when the cardinal comes, just different birds, different animals. Um, Once you begin to really know we're one with nature. We're part of the nature. We're part of this. And it's very important for people to really understand that and embrace all that you are. And so when you talk about those things, we all have the gift of discernment. We all have an instinct, an intuition, the third eye. We all possess those things. It just do we choose to listen to it? Do we want to learn more about it? Do we want to develop it? Right. So when we first started off, we as children, these things were happening to us and we were more curious about it. We wanted to know what was that. But then as you get older and you get more conditioned, it's like, okay, that was crazy, that was weird, but you don't read anything to it. But once you take time to really learn and develop it down into it, you are like, wow, this is powerful. But we all have it.
Let me tell
We
you,
all have it.
let me tell you what kind of, I knew it because my grandfather used to tell me some things when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
and I found out what he was doing was like binding it. That's what I
Yes.
found out, that he was binding it. I wasn't ready for it. So what really got me into this was The Secret.
Mm.
Reading The Secret, and there's other books, and those Chicken for the Soul books and stuff, but really The Secret opened up my eyes, because I'm like, wow. And just read, and then the 50 Cent has this book that I'm reading. I just so love his books. I'm not a
Yes.
fan of everything that he does, but just love his books. And it's based off of those principles. And if you really think about it, The Secret, you go into the Bible and you read side by side. The Secret is basically coming from the Bible, if you really think about it. It's not witchcraft or obia, as they would say in Jamaica, or voodoo, or whatever the case may be. And then again, too, those things are used in different ways in different cultures. So that's why I wanted you to come on the show, my queen, because you are spitting so much knowledge, and maybe you may be helping to remove the stigma from crystals, from and what people don't realize, I think a lot of people who were having mental issues, because I'm telling you, I was having all this talk
Yeah.
in my head, and then
Yeah.
I realized from my aunt that I got this from my mother, and
Mm-hmm.
this is what she was going through, because she used to call her crazy. So
Mm-hmm.
now I understand it. Back then my mother didn't know what this was, but
Yeah.
now, doing all my research and everything, I'm finding out this is what my mother had. But my grandfather at a young age tried to bind it, because
Mm-hmm.
some of the things that he did when we would go, when I was, in Jamaica, he would take me to certain places, and certain things he would do. And it's like all talking to my therapist, everything was coming out. And after doing research, he was trying to bind this. So I'm not walking around here saying I'm the wicked witches or the
Yeah.
wickering and all that kind of stuff. I am walking in my truth. I am walking because, just like watch The Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of truth that comes from movies that people are not realizing. Read the
Yes.
Bible. Why do we think it's only the disciples that have powers or
Yes.
gifts? Why? Where did obviously they had kids, some of them had kids, or some of them, come on, there's some sort of generational thing going on. So why wouldn't I expect to be walking around with some sort of gift? And you know what, I'm telling you, once I found this out, I'm walking like you're wearing stilettos, honey,
Yes.
with my chest up high. Lord, these chests don't need to go any higher. But and I'm proud of it. And
Yeah.
all the guests that I'm meeting of lately have this thing. So it's like,
Yeah.
you guys, I'm gravitating towards you. You ladies and gents. You know what I'm saying? So it's just amazing. So when your family found out about this, how did they take it? Did some like, no, who does she think she is, or she's crazy, or let's get away from her? What?
My family had this thing as that's just the way she is. Because I've had these gifts, I've had this way of expressing things and dreaming things, and to the point it just came to them as something normal. They try to normalize it, but they'll use me sometimes as in, oh, I met this guy or I met this girl. What do you think? What do you feel? Are you getting a feeling about them? Or, they want to bring me over to see, can I feel their vibration, their energy? But then it got to a point where it became an attack on me. Right. And I think I'm Miss Know-It-All, because I get this deep insight on things, or we don't want to give her credit that she mentioned it. And I just had to pull myself back. For the last few years, I just really keep my circle very small, even when it comes to family.
Girl, I only got 3 folks really in my family I keep. So the rest of them.
And then understanding that blood makes us relatives, but there's other things that make a person my family. And so I had to really set those healthy boundaries to really walk this path, this sacred life I'm called to walk, so I can make the impact that I was born to make in the world. And those is putting those healthy boundaries in and honoring that on my path.
I like that, because we say the same thing, because I say there's family and there's relatives. Mm-hmm. And family, relatives are who you born into. Family is who you choose. And I'd rather choose family, because relatives could, but that's a whole nother show. We're not going to go there. But anyway, so, and it has saved me, because it has saved me. I'm one of those chicks where if you tell me the stove is hot, I'm not touching the stove. But there are other people that I know, they want to touch the stove, play around with it. I've never been that chick. You tell me it's hot, I'm leaving it alone. But I'm also allowing my vibrations, my body to tell me whether, because people will tell you anything, and you have to make your own opinion, form your own opinions. And I just, right now, the pandemic, I'm going to be honest, during this pandemic, it has made me stronger, not just in spirit, but I see my gifts getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Where at one point, it kind of made me nervous, or scared, like I would drive, and I'm paying attention to everything in the universe. I would drive, or I would leave my car door open. Let's say if I'm parked on the street, keep my car, and something would say, Jackie, shut that car door. And I would shut the car door. Girl, a car would be zooming down that would have taken my door. Yeah. So I am now listening to everything. When I don't listen to my instincts, my intuition, whatever you want to call it, I always fail. Always, always, always. I'm like, dang, I should have listened to my instincts. So what I've decided to do, Miss George, is I don't ever want to say, dag. I'd rather listen to my instincts, and if it didn't come true, it doesn't. But 99% of the time it does. Let me go to the store now. I'm not going to go, yeah, Jackie. No. And then when I do go to the store, I end up meeting someone who I've been trying to call on the phone for God knows how long, but they've been in meetings. So, that divine intervention, baby.
Yes. It's, so much you said right there. It's so much you said right there. But it's honoring our body wants to work for us. Everything about us wants to work for us. So when you feel like you need rest, take rest. Your body is communicating with you that it needs rest. When you got a craving for something healthy, your body needs that vitamin, okay? If it's telling you you're just going orange crazy, you just want an avocado, whatever it is, listen, your body is your friend, right? Love yourself enough to honor your intuition. I had to learn that. I used to have dreams about people, and it may not be total Pacific, but I was getting these warnings. I guess the Holy Spirit would just be warning me, like, this person is this, or this is going to happen. And I already have a relationship with that person. I'm like, but that's a nice, he's nice or she's nice. And this is like, no. And so now I just honor it. Like, okay, I take my hands off. I surrender. But we have to understand that we were created here in this time frame for the good, right? Things come to us for the good. Trust it. Follow your intuition. Follow your instinct. Like you said, 99% of the time, or 98, whatever, it's going to work out. Because sometimes it's our ego talking to us. So then you have to learn the difference between the ego and that real inner voice, right? And when you can learn how to ground your ego, because it's going to always be there, because the ego wants to protect you, but you have to learn the difference of the voices of what's really going on inside of you. So I think this time, and the more you practice meditation and you be able to learn how to still your mind, the more productive you can be and the more impact you can make in whatever you're called to do.
And for me, what I do now is also, because I'm a thrift shopper, and what I've learned to do, because I spoke with this lady, she helped me out on this, and I said, something's just not right. I said, is it a possibility? It doesn't matter if you're washing it or whatever, because think about it, you still can go to the department store and buy clothes, you wash it, dry clean it, launder it, whatever it is. But I said, nah, I gotta do some praying, especially when I go to the thrifting, because I don't know what energy. When you go into a store and buy clothes, you don't know what energy either. So it doesn't matter whether, people have this thing about thrifting and new store. People go into the stores and they try on clothes. So people are handling the clothes. People are sewing the clothes. You don't know what energy is touching those clothes that you're putting on your body. And this is supposed to be your temple. So so now what I'm doing is, I smudge, I do all that stuff in my house. I also, my clothes, talk, perform certain things with my clothes, of course, launder it, but you don't want that energy in your house. And one of the things I don't play with, I don't want negative energy in my house. Sometimes your house can be filled with negative energy that you're just exhausted, and it's something that you're bringing in the house as well, or it's something, it's on you and it's not taken away. And what I find, water is so liberating for me, because I need to be near water. I have my white crystal, but I need to be near water whenever that's why I like to do the morning dew from the grass. So when I go out there and I'm grounding, it's freezing, but I feel so much better when the moon, especially if I'm not feeling well, the moon will just talk to me and I'm like, I'm feeling better. It's almost as if you plug something in to be recharged, because and that's how I look at my body, my personal body, that I need charging. And the more I put out and talking to people, or people asking me for information, or clients, and they want me to help them with whatever negativity is going on in their life to live a positive life, it drains me. Now I'm learning I need to be charged. I need to be rested. I can't keep going 24 hours, 7 days a week. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that no more. So I just love the fact that I'm meeting someone such as yourself, and we can talk about this, because I definitely want to bring you on regularly. I definitely would like some of the followers to definitely not just follow you, but subscribe to your services, use your services, because right now, people are spending so much money going to the doctor's offices. We're not talking about we're not talking about therapists. I'm talking about going to the emergency room. And sometimes too, when you wake up around a certain time, it could, like the Chinese have the body clock. It could be something with that. And sometimes it could be just a mere, cleansing yourself, relieving yourself of all negativity that can kind of help you feel better, charged, and all that kind of stuff. So what I'm learning to do, Miss George, is I'm learning, for me, during the pandemic, no is no. If I have an interview and if I'm not feeling well, before I would push myself and I would be like this, and then it takes me 3 days to recoup. I'm learning now, and I'm being responsible and I'm being professional. But if I'm not feeling right, where I don't like this society that we live in, that fake it till you make it. When I mean fake it till you make it, if you're not feeling well, you can push, keep pushing, keep pushing. I am not Superwoman. I took the S off my damn chest a long time ago. And instead of S, it's WW, Women Are Worthy. But I took that S off my chest. I'm not Superwoman. I'm not Superman. And I don't even want to do that anymore. When I left corporate America, I left that all alone. I look, I'm not trying to bring home the bacon. fried up in the pan,
Man.
cook it up and let you forget you're a man,
Oh,
and they
man,
clean the
yeah.
house. We're not doing that. I am not doing the June leave it to Cleaver thing, because you can't expect me to do all of this and come home, and we're not doing that. We don't have that in my household. Thank you, Jesus. But I'm not going to do that outside either. So I think as sisters, as women, as men, we need to support each other, be patient with each other, and more importantly, we need to be open with each other. You know, how can someone get in touch with you because they want your bomb diggity services?
Well, first of all, on Instagram, I give out daily messages of inspiration. It's at LaTrenda George. Everything is LaTrenda George. LaTrendaGeorge.com is my website. You can find me on every platform, just basically LaTrenda George. That's it.
Okay, so what gems do you want to drop? Because we like to leave people with things. What jewels would you like to drop?
One thing I would suggest that I would let everyone to know is that I am statements are very powerful. Prayer is very powerful, and meditation. And just know that you are loved, you are supported, you are guided, you are protected, and you are provided for. Believe that, know that in all circumstances. And if anything challenging pops up on your path, because it will on all of our paths, know that that is happening outside of you. You are who you are, and you have all the tools in your toolkit to make it through.
Girl, you need to stop, because you're gonna make me get up and do the church dance. I'm doing the bankhead bounce because you just hit them. You just hit them with it. And that's what I'm talking about. We have it inside of us, and we just need to know the powers that we have. Don't worry about what other people think. You need to just make sure you find your tribe, people like us who accept you, because everyone has different skills. Because now I'm noticing I can do this whole levitation stuff, and girl, we talk about this offline, because folks the next thing I get home, I have somebody at my house with a straight jacket. Because they were air hustling me on the show, and they heard like, wait a minute, did she say she can do that? And that's the kind of thing I'm just lowing down. But yeah, you have just been a phenomenal guest. Thank you. And you're not even a guest, you're part of the tribe, the Women Are Worthy tribe. We welcome you, we appreciate you, we embrace you, we give you roses now. We want you to know that we support any and everything that you do, because people like us, we're the new physicians, okay? We're the new, and I think we're rising up now while this is happening, so we can heal the planet, heal the earth. Because look, we have a pandemic going on, we have vaccinations. It works for some, it doesn't work for those. But people who come to us, it's your soul that really, now I'm not just talking about the COVID, but it's your soul, because the COVID messes with your soul, it messes with your brain, because you can't be around people. People are committing suicide because they're not around people. I just read a veteran committed suicide. She called her family, gave everything away, and committed suicide because she couldn't see her family. So she left a note, and when they, went to the house, she was dead like 3 or 4 days. So we have to make sure that we're communicating, we're asking people how they're doing. One thing I really want to say before I close the show out: if your mind or gut says to call someone, don't say, I'll do it tomorrow. Do it today, because you never know, that person may need to hear your voice. You never know. Not saying that they may commit suicide, but you never know. Because sometimes when you need help, you don't want to ask for it. But if your mind says, oh, I'm going to call LaTrenda today, now I'm going to wait till tomorrow. Then when I say it, you'll say, gosh, I wish you would have called me. So I love what you're doing. I'm telling you, girl, when I say you sizzle my spirit, girl, you sizzle my spirit. I don't think I need to go to bed now. You definitely soothe my soul, because I met my tribe. You soothe my soul. And I'm just feeling, like I said, instead of zhuzhing my hair, you zhuzh my spirit, babe. You zhuzh my spirit. So,
oh, Jacqueline, it's an honor.
We want to thank everyone for tuning into the Women Are Worthy show. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and follow our page on YouTube. It's the Women Are Worthy Network. On Facebook, it's the Women Are Worthy show. On Instagram, it's the Women Are Worthy show. So please tune in tomorrow. We're going to have Gage Edwards. Ooh, that's gonna be a show. Ooh,
Yeah.
he's my new male crush now.
All right.
That's okay. I already told my husband. He said I can have Gage as a male crush. He said it's okay. He's a single dad. He's raising his beautiful, gorgeous daughter Monroe, and he's an entrepreneur. He was on flipping out, just a beautiful soul. Girl, baby, he's gorgeous, gorgeous. But no, but he's a nice human being, and I do like that. And any guy who raises a daughter, I am so for that, because my dad was a single dad at one point, and he raised me. And I just have a thing for single dads. A thing being, I just have a place in my heart for them, and I like to do shows so they can talk about what they are, what they're doing, and things like that. So again, thank you for tuning into the Women Are Worthy show. I am just, girl, I'm gonna sleep so good tonight.
Yes.
Lord. Yes. And again, thank you. Continue to do great work that you're doing now. And I hope any and everything that you manifest, not hope, everything that you manifest is here. So for those of you out there, keep manifesting. Things may be rough, but sometimes things are happening for you, not just to you. To teach you a lesson, to not a bad way, but to show you, give you a lesson to appreciate life and things like that. But girl, I can talk to you for like 10 hours, but I'm already getting this thing like cut. So, and I'm sure they're gonna
Thank
cut
you,
that
Jackie.
part out. They're
Oh,
gonna
thank
cut
you.
that part out. You're welcome. So have a good evening. Thank you, everyone. Blessings and abundance and prosperity. Bye-bye.